Hello, my name is Samuel Menega. It is the 8th of June 2020, and I am hereby committing to finishing this character model for my game today. I am saying this on camera so that I don't wimp out on myself and not do it. So let's go. Okay, I have a confession to make. I have to bring you guys up to speed on something. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, Sam, when's the next Barry's Air devlog? Where is it? Well, I haven't been working on that game as much as I should have. Now, don't get me wrong, Barry's Air was a fantastic intro to the game dev world. I still care about that game, and I'm still planning on finishing it, but in a much more real sense, I don't really care about that game, and I might not finish it. No, but seriously, Barry's Air was great, but I've just been itching to work on something that I really care about, something that looks super cool, an immersive experience, something that's all around what I would consider a good game, and Barry's Air just doesn't meet those standards. Here's the thing though, making a good game is not easy, and it requires a lot of skills that I don't have, and although I'd consider myself a creative person, in no sense of the word would I consider myself artistic, and you have to be very artistic in order to make a good game, so I had to assemble a team. Now this is where the going gets really interesting, but we don't have to sit here to talk about it, so let's head outside, and I will tell you about the team I assembled and the decisions we made. Okay, we're finally outside. My first outside spot did not work out at all. First of all, it's like 95+ degrees in Michigan today, and it was in the sun. Second of all, it just rained, so I had to walk through an entire swamp to get there. But anyway, let's move on to the actual contents of the video. Let me introduce you to my siblings. Well, 3 of them. Well, 2 and an in-law. Okay, Ivy's as much of a sibling as Jack and Asher are, just in a much more physical sense. We're not related. Alright, so Jack and Ivy are 21 and they are married, and together they form a music group known as Poison and Pine. They make awesome songs such as this one. Man, imagine I get copy strike for that. That's actually a really likely possibility. Yikes. I will actually be putting links in the description to their musical group if you feel like going and supporting them. They make amazing music, and it would mean a lot to me if you went and checked them out. Anyway, Jack and Ivy bring a fantastic set of skills to this game. Jack is one of the best film and game composers that I've ever known. Well, he's actually like the only one I've ever known. He's one of the best I've ever heard of. In fact, he just composed the music for an indie title called Interstellar, and it is absolutely fantastic. Ivy is one of the best artists I've ever known, and she has a fantastic mind for characters and story. Asher is my 12-year-old brother, and he is a follower of the channel, an aficionado in all things gaming, and he's just here to be our all-around advisor and help out with the entire process. Alright, now that we're done with my family history lesson, which probably bored all of you, let's actually move on to the game dev part of this video. And hey, I make devlogs all the time, as well as indie game videos and analysis videos, so if you like stuff like that, maybe hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Now let's jump into the real meat of this video. So as I've mentioned on this channel before, one of the most important parts of making a great indie game is planning well. Now this is something that I completely neglected to do on Barry's Air, but for this game I was not going to make the same mistake. So the first decision we had to come to as a group was 2D or 3D, and while 3D is absolutely terrifying to a novice game developer such as me, I wanted this game to have a truly awesome atmosphere that pulls you in and keeps you engaged with the game, and I felt like 3D was the best medium to do that in. Now the next decision was which game engine to use, and originally I wasn't even considering this. I was just gonna go with Unity 3D because that's what I know, but as I did my research and looked more into it, I decided I wanted to use Unreal Engine 4 for this project. Now the main reason for... Oh almost knocked my microphone out of my hand there. Now, the main reason for using Unreal Engine 4 for this project is its awesome built-in post-processing, which makes its games look absolutely fantastic. I know you can achieve the same result in Unity, but as somebody like me who's not very skilled, it's nice to just have that off the mind. The other reason is that although I've gotten used to Unity, I'm still so new to the game development scene that I have to look up basically anything I'm gonna do online anyway, so it's really not that much more of a learning curve to use Unreal Engine 4. To create the 3D models for this game, I'm going to be using Blender, which is a free open source 3D modeling software, and a lot of you guys, well, all of you guys may not know this, but I actually have a history 3D modeling in Blender. It has been years since I actually used that, but it really helped on this project for things to come back to me quickly. Alright, so we know the game's 3D, it's gonna be an Unreal Engine 4, it's gonna be atmospheric. Now it's time to start thinking up some characters and game mechanics. And the first idea, which I believe came from me, but which everybody in the project had ideas about and hopped onto really quickly, was the... Now, we are still in the early stages of planning this game, but we wanted our character to have a torch that he carries around, and he can light other torches to bring light to the world that he's in, as well as maybe solve puzzles and explore along the way. We almost wanted the torch to become a secondary character within this game, and be a super good companion to our main character of the game. Speaking of our main character of the game, we had to come up with one, and since Ivy is the artist, she started drafting some concept art, and we eventually landed on this character, which we have named Herb. We wanted this game to be set in a dark cave so that the light mechanic really pops out and you feel it as you play through the game. We wanted to have some combat, puzzle, exploration, and story elements, but we're still novice game developers. So in order to not completely overscope on this story, we have decided to try to make the game about 15 minutes long. Alright, enough with me talking to you guys about the process. This is where I really started getting involved and working on the computer. So we're gonna head back up to my desk and I'm gonna walk you through each day. I actually kept a logbook during this development process, and it was super helpful. You might find some of the entries rather entertaining as well, so let's head up there. Alright, we're back at the desk and we're gonna jump straight into the first logbook entry. So this is for May 31st, the first day I ever worked on the game. Today I downloaded the Unreal Engine. I have no idea what any of these options are, and I really hope I can change them later. Also, I accidentally agreed to sending Microsoft data. Ugh. So for those of you that haven't used Unreal before, there's this really cool feature where when you load into the scene, you can choose a preset and it will come with a pre-made mini version of that type of game. So obviously I chose third-person 3D game because that's what ours is going to be, and it loaded in with a character complete with controls and animations. This is really cool for a new game developer like me because it takes the edge off the dauntingness of the process. I have items that I can actually go in and look at. I pretty much spent a few hours this day just searching through all the options and trying to get familiar with the layout of Unreal Engine. It's a pretty intuitive workspace and I'm really excited to continue work on it. The only other thing I did today was mess around with some fog settings, changing different lights around, and seeing how a torchlight would look in the scene. So here's a clip from way back on that day. So it was June 4th before I got back to working on the game. Now what I really wanted to be doing in Blender was making a model of Herb, but as this is Ivy's first time working on a game as well, she had to take a little bit of time to make an orthographic 3D character reference. So I spent all day making one rock. No, I'm not joking. It took me all day to make this rock. It's not really a rock, it's a pillar. Anyway, enjoy my logbook entry. June 4th, 2020. Made a rock. All day. Definitely hope this process gets faster as I learn. Still, it was a good experience and I learned so much about proper shading and UV textures. Seriously guys, shout out to this guy on screen right now for making an absolutely amazing UV textures tutorial. It really cleared up the whole process for me, and although it was difficult, I felt really good about what I achieved on this one pillar, and I'm looking forward to creating more models for the game because I really like the color scheme I ended up going with. I really love this blue-greenish tint, and if the whole cave looks like that, it's gonna be absolutely fantastic. I'm excited. Alright, I have no logbook entries for the 5th and 6th of June, but Ivy did get those orthographic character models to me and I started modeling them in Blender. Again, shout out to this guy for making awesome tutorials that helped me through that process. This is what I used to do years ago in Blender, so it was all coming back to me pretty quickly. Although I did have several frustrating attempts where I had to completely scrap it and start over. This is my logbook entry from the 7th of June 2020. Continued modeling herb today. Worked for 2+ hours but didn't find success. I learned a lot and I have a gut feeling that coming back with a fresh mind, it shouldn't be too hard. But I'm probably wrong. I actually did end up returning later that night and found a lot of success on blocking out a low poly model of herb. Now keep in mind I am not including his cloak or his headband in this. There's a lot of details that still have to be done, but by the end of the day I was feeling pretty good. And the next day, which would be the 8th, my logbook entry is as follows. Hello, my name is Samuel Menega. It is the 8th of June 2020, and I am hereby committing to finishing this character model for my game today. I am saying this on camera so that I don't wimp out on myself and not do it. So let's go. Finished modeling herb today. Well, finished is a relative term. Alright guys, so I have a low poly model of herb that has been smoothed out in Blender. It's T-posing right now, and in the next devlog, I get to rig that up, add the cloth, import it into Unreal Engine 4, and really start hogging ahead on this game. Hogging ahead? What am I saying? I really get to start plowing ahead on this game. Now today is a Wednesday, tomorrow on Thursday, me, Jack, Ivy, and Asher are all gathering together. We're gonna bang out what the story is gonna look like, what the level design is gonna look like, and all kinds of other details like that. I'm gonna be recording the whole process. So if you guys wanna see that, make sure to subscribe. I'm super excited for the continued development on this process, and I will see you guys all in the next devlog. Take care.